Film icon, Oscar-winning director, and activist Robert Redford passed away this morning at the age of 89. Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signor. Sad day for film lovers everywhere as Robert Redford has passed away. His family has said that he passed away this morning in his home in Sundance, Utah, the place he loved, surrounded by those he loved. He will be missed greatly. The family requests privacy. We're not getting many details on the cause of his passing, that he passed in his sleep, but he leaves a 6-decade career of fantastic work that I want to go through. I want to start with this quote that they pulled here as well on how he'd like to be remembered. He said this to Esquire back in 2017. For the work, what really matters is the work, and what really matters to me is doing the work. I'm not looking at the back end. What am I going to get out of this? What's going to be the reward? I'm just looking at the work, the pleasure of being able to do the work. And that's what the fun is. To climb up the mountain is the fun, not standing at the top. There's nowhere to go but climbing up. That struggle, that to me is where the fun is. That to me is the thrill. Well said. And man, what a climb this man had as you go through his career. We're going to stop through it. So many television performances, all the way back from Perry Mason, The Untouchables, Twilight Zone, Alfred Hitchcock Presents, so many things. He made his film debut in a 1960 uncredited role called Tall Story, starring Anthony Perkins and Jane Fonda, who we're going to talk about again. But it really was his Broadway debut, 1963, Barefoot in the Park, Neil Simon's play. That was a smash hit, and that's when he became a name to watch. And then it was this film, Inside Daisy Clover, which he starred opposite Natalie Wood, that won him Golden Globe for New Star of the Year. And then things took an even bigger turn as he starred in the film adaptation of Barefoot in the Park opposite Jane Fonda, and that success threw him into the stratosphere of leading men. It was really this film, though, as many of you will recall, with Paul Newman in 1969, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. Their warmth, chemistry made the film a phenomenon. And Redford's Sundance Kid became iconic, later also inspiring the name of the film festival where he went to live in Utah. They reunited again in The Sting, another fantastic film. These are wonderful films. The Sting in 1973 won Best Picture and earned Redford his first and only Oscar nomination for Best Actor, which was surprising to me. I assumed he won, but he only won a Legendary Award. After that, you may know this meme. This is a meme that was shared all over. The nodding grizzly man. Well, that's actually Jeremiah Johnson, the rugged independence of the American frontier, and that's Robert Redford underneath all that hair and clothes. But that was an iconic performance as well, along with The Candidate, razor sharp political satire about corruption and compromise. It is a great film. And then The Way We Were with Barbra Streisand, romantic classic. Many people still love this. His iconic portrayal of Gatsby in The Great Gatsby opposite Mia Farrow. The tragedy of F. Scott Fitzgerald's Jay Gatsby. And then came 3 Days in the Congo. I love this film. It's a tense Cold War thriller, and it does still hold up to these days. They did a recent remake. It's not as good. This is a wonderful film. And that brings us to All the President's Men, where he played journalist Bob Woodward in the dramatization of the Watergate investigation. He later told ABC News, "What attracted me to this film are these two guys. One guy's a Jew, the other guy's a WASP. One guy's a Republican, the other guy's a radical liberal. They don't get along very well. One guy is claiming to be the better writer than the other. They don't particularly like each other, but they have to work together." Fitting film, even today, a story of where actually corruption can get exposed and proven. And then Richard Nixon resigned. This film tapped the political zeitgeist, became a political box office hit, and earned 8 Academy Awards, winning 4. It was also added to the Library of Congress's National Film Registry. Culturally, historically, and aesthetically significant. So this became he not only was a box office star, but he was really creating projects with purpose. Then in the 80s, so many performances we're going to go through, including The Natural in 84, where he played the mysterious baseball prodigy Roy Hobbs. Very, very iconic role for him. And then it was Brubaker in 1980, tackling prison reform. And this one, which my sister loved, I remember as a kid, she loved this film, Out of Africa, Sidney Pollack film, starring Redford and a very young Meryl Streep. It is a really beautiful romantic film. And then in the 90s, man, this is one of my favorites. I always say this is one of those lost films and not enough people watched. I still think it holds up. a spy thriller, a clever one. It's like a heist caper like Ocean's 11 style, called Sneakers, with a brilliant cast. Robert Redford, Dan Aykroyd, look at that, Ben Kingsley, Sidney Poitier, River Phoenix. It's a really, really fun movie. If you want to do a Robert Redford tribute, this is a fun one to add to the experience. And then Indecent Proposal, which I recently, this is a crazy one. If you don't know this one, this is that film in Las Vegas. Woody Harrelson, Demi Moore are struggling. They lose their savings, and he walks up with the proposition, $1 million for one night with your wife, which then they actually consider. What happens, the ramifications after that. It was a big deal. It was a big conversation starter and an iconic film. Up Close and Personal, it was a newsroom romance with Michelle Pfeiffer. And then Spy Game, where he teamed up with Brad Pitt. Tony Scott directed this one, a political thriller about a CIA agent that's assassinated, you think, and Robert Redford's trying to find him. It's a cool film. Later, throughout 2000s, he started more recently, 2016, Pete's Dragon. It really was a really warm film, wonderful family film. One of those Disney live action remakes no one really talks about that I think actually worked really well. And he's great in it. Nice little role. And then later he did also star in All Is Lost, which was this survival on a boat. Doesn't even have much to say. He got a Golden Globe nomination and was getting a lot of Oscar buzz, but for some reason didn't get that one. But it was a very prominent later years performance, along with The Old Man, the Gun, which many see as sort of his last great performance. But I can't not forget Alexander Pierce, what he did in the Marvel Universe, Captain America, Winter Soldier, one of the best Marvel movies still to this day. But he played a senior SHIELD agent. I won't spoil if you haven't seen, but it really did harken back to his old political thrillers of the 70s, which was a nice surprise to see him doing. It was A River Runs Through It, though. Man, that one was an iconic film for so many that brought his attention to so many people as a director. Well, actually, before that, I'm going in order, and I was like, well, wait, where's Ordinary People? I don't have the picture, but Ordinary People was his directorial debut. It won 4 Academy Awards. It is a tragic, beautiful film. It established him as a director of massive talent, and that was in 1980. It wasn't until 1992, his follow-up, River Runs Through It, was really the next big motion where he directed Brad Pitt. This film helped Brad Pitt become a massive star. It was also had 3 Oscar nominations as well, cinematography, etc. And then after River Runs Through It was Quiz Show, another fantastic film about media corruption. Highly encourage you check it out. About Was This Show Cheating, starring Ray Fiennes. It also was nominated for Best Picture, Best Director for Redford. He then also did, there's Ordinary People. I just had it in the wrong place. Donald Sutherland, Mary Tyler Moore, Timothy Hutton. Tragic, but really, really well done film. Highly recommend that one to be included in your watches as well. But it was this one, The Horse Whisperer, with a very young Scarlett Johansson, was another one he did back in 1998. He also did The Legend of Bagger Vance. Wasn't a huge fan of that one, but still showcasing he was doing a lot of great work in his later years. In fact, he even won a Lifetime Achievement Oscar in 2002, honoring all his work in front and behind the character, as well as his culture influence. And that's where I want to go next, to start the Sundance Film Institute, man. This was a big deal, launching filmmakers such as Tarantino, Soderbergh, Damon Chazelle, Coen brothers. He didn't just make them, he changed the industry by creating this film festival. Now, he later would say that it got too big. He didn't love that part of it. Got too commercialized. In fact, I think it's leaving Sundance and it's heading over to Boulder now, which is unfortunate for the legacy. But perhaps nicer to leave Sundance alone where he was. But this was an incredibly important thing he created for independent cinema and will always be remembered. And one of the most iconic film festivals there is to support and lift up independent film. And yeah, he's right. It probably could get back to its roots. It's been commercialized so much. But in the early days, especially, it was an iconic place to find films. And then beyond that, he also had a huge impact in environmental work. One of the strongest environmental voices. He worked very closely with the Natural Resources Defense Council and other groups fighting for conservation, clean energy, and Native American rights. He believed protecting the land was vital as defending the nation in itself. Once famously saying, "The environment should be put in the category of our national security. Defense of our resource is just as important as defense abroad. Otherwise, what is there to defend?" Couldn't agree more. So many iconic roles throughout his career. love him or hate him politically, he stood for something. You got to give him credit for that. And his work defined so many generations, even including to this day. A true loss, a true legend, a moment of silence for the legendary Robert Redford.